How to prevent HubSpot from creating duplicate customers in QuickBooks whenever you get a new client. That's what I'm going to cover in this video. Who does this apply to? This applies to basically any company that uses the HubSpot and QuickBooks integration, and especially if the company relates to businesses as clients as opposed to individuals. When you label a client, it's typically a company labeled as a client as opposed to just a single individual, then this video is for you. So let's start by understanding the integration. First of all, you can find that it's a native integration. You can find it in the HubSpot marketplace. And the way it works is that it synchronizes products and services in QuickBooks with products and services in HubSpot, invoices in QuickBooks with invoices in HubSpot, and then customers in QuickBooks are contacts in HubSpot. And that's exactly where the challenge is. If you label your companies as clients, typically what you do, or a lot of the times what people do, is that they take every underlying contact and also label it as a client. Because the integration talks to individual contacts as opposed to companies, then you label a company as a client, 20 contacts underneath it are also labeled as clients. And so what happens? You get 20 customers for that company in QuickBooks as opposed to just one, the company. So what's the solution for that? You need to create a billing contact so that only one of those contacts under that company is passed to QuickBooks as the client, and you end up with one customer in QuickBooks per one customer in HubSpot. That's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do. So the first step is designating the billing contact, and for that we're going to use association labels. Why are we using association labels in HubSpot? In my opinion, there is no more obvious tool within HubSpot to create relationships between objects. And in this case, we're saying when we're creating a relationship between a contact and a company, we're saying this is the billing contact for this company. As you can see here in my fake account, that I am the billing contact for Paula. And if I go into Paula, you're going to see that even though there are a number of users associated with the company, I am the only billing contact. That's what we want to do. So how do we create association labels in HubSpot? You go to settings, and then under settings, you want to go to contacts, and then under contacts, you want to go to associations, and under association, you're going to go here, create and configure. And so here is where you do it. The first thing is by default, because we did it from contacts, the association is between contacts and companies, which is exactly what we want. We want a single label, billing contact. I want to call it billing contact 2 because I already have billing contact, and so it won't let me do it do a duplicate label for the same thing. But you also have the option to do a pair of labels. That's when the name of the label should be different depending on who you're looking at it from. In this case, if you do billing contact for contacts or companies, you kind of understand that you're talking about that individual being the billing contact for that company. So a single label is fine. And then you hit next. And here is where you tell it, well, can this contact be the billing contact of 20 companies? Or can one company have 20 billing contacts? The answer to both of those things is no. So you cannot have many-to-many relationship. You have to say custom 1-1. And what this will do is that it will prevent companies from having more than one billing contact, and it will prevent contacts from being the billing contact for more than one company, which is exactly what you want. So once you create the association label, you will hope that you can just come to the integration and then change the filters to say, hey, as long as the person is a client and has this association label, send them to QuickBooks. But that's not how it works, because the filters in the integration don't work based on association labels. Unfortunately, you cannot use association labels as a filter. So what you do instead is you create a list, and in that list you say any contact associated to a company, and using the billing contact label for the association, that contact should be part of this list. And then you go back to your integration, and the way you get to the integration is you go settings, connected apps under integrations, and then you find QuickBooks, and then you go to settings, and you go to the contact because that's the one we're trying to fix. You go to limit, and here is where you apply the filters for the integration. In this case, we want to apply the filters in terms of what data goes from HubSpot to QuickBooks. You hit edit, And here you can see that I have created is a member, the lifecycle stage is clients, and is a member of the list billing contact. Once you set that up and you finish it, now the integration will take anybody who is set to client and who's part of the billing contacts list, which is a list created based on the label. It will send those customers to QuickBooks. And as you can see here, I am created as a customer in QuickBooks because I had that label. And what's nice about this is that instead of saying my name, Enrique Flores, which is typically not what you want to see in QuickBooks, you want to see the company name, that's because they have a nice little feature that allows you to choose the display name, and it gives you the options to go between your last name, first name, first name, last name, or the company name. I have it set to the company name, so whenever a new contact is created, it pulls the name of the company associated with the contact, and there you have it. I hope you found this useful. If you have any questions about how to do any of it, DM me, send me an email. I'll be more than happy to help you. Cheers.